Hi, welcome back, and we are talking about the challenges of owning and running a family business and how to exit those family members that are now surplus to requirements. And I'm joining the studio with John Broons, so don't go anywhere. Hi, and welcome back, and yes, Michael Worthington with John Broons, the family business guy. How are you, John?
Good, thanks, Mike.
The challenges of owning and running a family business, and we're talking about exiting those family members that are, can I dare say, surplus to requirements, or maybe wrong time, wrong position.
Yeah, it's difficult to exit a family member once they've been invited into the family business.
Yeah.
There are challenges around the exit strategies. Yes, big challenges.
Now, the challenges obviously come from, we can understand the emotions, but it's almost that I'm a family member. This is the family business. I'm entitled to be here. That must be one of the things that's almost being imposed on the hierarchy.
That's definitely a conversation. Entitlement is a conversation that does come up.
Yes.
And if you have no structure around hiring and no structure around firing, then it becomes an argument where entitlement can certainly take place.
Yeah. So when you go in and as the family business guy and you get involved in lots of complex conversations,
Yep.
use your words in these matters, this is obviously one. The family business itself, for no fault of any individual, but they can grow and they evolve. Everything's fluid and dynamic, as you always say. Things change, and if the person can't change, adapt, grow, or maybe their position just is no longer required, what are some of the challenges of the, mum, dad, the senior brother, or the brother that's running the business, or the daughter that's running it? What are some of those issues that they bring to you as a table and say, I'm struggling with this one, John?
Okay. Firstly, I would ideally, in any circumstance, other than the mum and dad and a couple of kids that are in the business, once you start having employees, then have agreements or contracts or awards that you will use to hire and fire. So if there is a set of documents or an award system in place that you can rely on that says we're treating everybody exactly the same way, that we're working within the business, then whatever rules for entry or exit, they should be the same for anybody.
Right.
Rather than letting the emotions get in the way and say, well, you did that wrong 5 times in a row and I've told you it's enough, go.
Yes.
There are sometimes processes in award systems or contract agreements which will offer or have in them processes of how we would step through a staged exiting of a family, of any member, employee within the company.
Now, I know there'll be a lot of family businesses watching this, and as a family business guy, you come against some rather complex, testy little problems, and I think one that does raise its head perhaps more often than we would perhaps like, and it is the marriage split issue. We've got someone working in, John's going, thanks for asking this, but it's a reality of running a family business. Your daughter or your son is working, they get married, their partner comes into the business, and in a role, doesn't matter where he is, but then there is a dissolving of that partnership or marriage or relationship, and now someone may perceive, hold on, we're stuck with somebody that is no longer a family. They're performing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with their performance. Yeah. Just we've got this emotional conflict that is not good for the business, or they just feel uncomfortable.
This is why we need to separate business from family.
There we go.
Okay?
Yes. Yeah.
If you can be clear, if you can be really clear that the business is about business, it's about generally making a profit, which is the creation of the wealth for the family.
Yep.
And the family is the family together. And if there is a person that has been in the family, if it's the in-law that's working in the business, and you're suggesting that now it's probably appropriate that there's a family, that in-law is no longer comfortable in the role within the business, then there's a family discussion about how do we do this fair and reasonable, or if there's some animosity, how do we resolve the animosity,
Yes.
such that it won't be a business challenge. And in some cases, I am aware of one particular case that I can think of where after a divorce, the in-law remained in the business. So it does happen.
For a business decision, obviously.
For a business decision.
Yeah.
And yet, here is the documentation. From a business point of view, we need to understand the business.
Yeah.
But if, on the family side of things, if there is a husband and wife that are together, and then maybe one of the partners passes, what's written in their wills? Because if one of those two, as a child from the founders or the owners of the business at the time, say they're in their 40s, and one of them passes, and there is a will, and they actually have shares in the business, who then becomes entitled if those two have divorced?
Wow.
So
is this the advantage of when someone like yourself goes in, and I mean, you have got that name that you're the family business guy, but as a consultant to family businesses, is this one of the advantages of being able to sit down at a table because you look at things unattached, unemotional, but with enough empathy because you've had family business yourself. I mean, you've had a large business that you used to run for your family, but enough empathy to be able to actually uncover, make people aware of what these things are, so they do put proper structures in place.
yeah, when I go into work with these families, my intention is to educate them and bring to the fore information that they don't yet have or understand, and to have these conversations while there is a very low level of emotional challenge.
And there we are. So, on this episode of the challenges of running a family business, how to exit the family member, sometimes they just don't exit if you do it professionally, as you said, treat it as a business rather than as just this family thing. Family's over here and business over here. Thanks for joining us, and we hope we'll see you again next time on more discussions on the challenges of owning and running a family business.